going to be showing you what we've got to look forward to. Okay, so we've got some absolutely amazing stuff that's coming inside Darren's Trading Academy. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had to do the video. I think I did a video before telling you about how we've actually moved into another property now, so I should be able to get some more content out to you, plus also the bots. Now, if anyone has been testing the stepwise program, this is by far one of the best ways to test any bot that is a little bit volatile, and it will help you. Also, always back test to make sure that it's going to work correctly as well. So I'm just going to show you what I've been doing. These are my trades. Okay, so you can see that these are my known support and resistance lines, which I bang on about over time and time again, and I always trade known support and resistance lines. Okay, so you can see this line in particular has been quite tricky because it's quite a long point from here to here. You'll see that my next trade that I'm actually set up to go into, if we log into my account, and you'll see so you'll see that I have placed a trade. Okay, the trade that I've placed is here roughly. You'll see where it is. It's not in this one. Let's look at this one. I've got two of these that are running on this one. That's what makes things a little bit complex. Okay, so this currently was, believe it or not, this fell down to $30,000, okay, from 1.5 mil. That's when we were moving. I'd shut everything down and I didn't have access to it. I would like to point out though that I did have access to all the other guys and members done for you systems, because that was running on a separate system. Okay, as much as I tell people to make sure that they use their own computer, their VPS, I tend to leave mine on my own computer. It's just a little bit faster, and I find that sometimes you can get a little bit more of a refresh rate. Plus also I did have an issue with the internet speed, which was very slow. So because the internet was very slow, it caused issues with me being able to choose when I wanted to be in the market and when I wanted to be out of the market. It was just the fact that it was very slow. Okay, so you'll see that these are my known actual indicators that I use. Okay, now if we click on here and I show you the indicators, we go here to indicator list. This is also inside Darren's Trading Academy. Okay, you'll see that I use this time and time again: on balance volume, accumulation distribution, and money flow index. Okay, these are what I use. Okay, because I wait until these move up in a spiking position and then I do a buy trade. Okay, now this is if I want to use a scalping method. Personally, I prefer to get into the market when it's dropped low. Okay, so you'll see at the moment that we're at 4336, and one of my actual trades that I've got set up at is 4180, which is this little chap down here, KXAU USD, and I also did another one at 4166. Okay, because if we have anything that drops, I want to try and catch it, and this works. Okay, the way that I do it is by known support and resistance lines. What this means is this trade has already worked already. Okay, so if we look at some of my trades which I've already been into, you'll see that there's a trade here, 4198, okay, 4201, and you might see that, look, 4182. So what this means is that I actually had a trade running at 418265 and I made £1,932, right, on this particular trade. So I'm using known points of when I've been in the market with XAU USD, using one volume. I can only use one volume at the moment. I can't use 3 volumes like I normally do because I'm not over 100k. So I need to get this back into a position where I can start to make 100k. You can see that there's a couple of bots that I've been testing. This one here, GBP JPY bot, and it's constantly been making profit. I know it's only 25 cents, 26 cents, 24 cents, 25 cents, right? But it's a test. I'd rather test this on very, very low, 0.01. I can always adjust my risk value, and bear in mind that I don't want any surprises, because I'm going to be doing a case study and I'm going to be showing you guys, okay, how we are going to pull this account. All right, because I thought about this, I could have just reset for $97, got 100k, and then carried on. But I thought it'd be really, really beneficial for you to show you that the systems that I use and trade, okay, work. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to boost this account up. Now, I want to show you because I'm very transparent in my trading. You know I am. And I think this is what gives me credibility in the trading world, because it's important for you to be aware that there is risks all the time when you're trading, okay? And you'll see that when I obviously couldn't have my computer on because we were moving, okay? You'll see that, look at the trades, lovely. These are all trades here which I've been boosting the account from 30,000, okay? And you'll see that this was on three lots. And then, of course, guess what happened? We had a major catastrophe, okay? And the major catastrophe basically is that I lost quite a lot of my account. Now, if I right mouse click this account, if I go to report, okay, and then if I go to HTML report, this is my account 1, all right? And if I look at my historic error, if I put account 1, Darren's, and hit enter, it's going to open this up, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you privilege, and I'm going to show you what I have been playing around with, okay? Which is really good. Now, guys, if you want to get into this, I have a link for this, okay? It is an affiliate link, all right? But I think I only make about 20 or 50%, something like that. Now, there's other people that have been asking if they can have affiliate link for the Darren's Trading Academy. I'm toying with the idea of this because as soon as I do that, I pretty much give it away. Okay, and what I mean by that is it means someone can buy it, they can reverse engineer it, and then they can put it all out there. So I'm a bit reluctant to do that. However, if there's genuine people that are inside the Darren's Trading Academy family, and you've got family and friends that you want to offer into that, right, then yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, and it's a very sensible move because you've obviously got confidence in what I'm doing, how it's helping, etc. So there's no reason, why I would probably allow that. Okay, so let's just close this. I don't want to do that at the moment. Right, so what I'm going to grab this thing here, right? I'm going to use, now you probably have never seen anything like this, okay? This is stuff that the actual stock exchange use, and it is just mind-blowing, okay? Now, you might have heard of this stuff, okay? But I want to show you it. I've been itching to show you this because if there's lots of people that are sitting on the fence about Darren's Trading Academy, you'll get access to the link inside Darren's Trading Academy, okay? And we're gonna do this together now anyway. So what we're gonna do is click on here, and click on here. I'm going to open up this here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to upload, this is a back test. Now there's loads and loads of back tests out there. Remember, I've shown you how to do back tests completely free, and this is a paid version, all right? But also this is a paid version that shows you how to do building and actual bots. So, this is like the next level stuff, really. If you're serious about wanting to do any of that, then I'd urge you to move into the world that I have, because it is a mind-boggling situation, but also it's crazy, right? I'll show you what I mean. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get this analyzed by this one here. Let's see if I can find out what one it was. Let's go back here. See if I can find it. because the idea of this is, oh, I know why. It's because I've saved it in here, right? It's in here, right? It's actually in my server. That's why I can't find it. Right, I'm just going to grab it. So we're going to move over to here, and we're going to grab it. It should be downloads file, and it's going to be somewhere. So that's why I like doing it live, because it just shows you exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what I do that works, and it just gives you a little bit of clarity, and you could say to yourself, well, yeah, I can see what Darren's doing. I'm just going to put it onto report, and then I'm just going to open this up, and then I can see where the file is. So you see this file here, so we're going to copy this file like that, and I'm going to close this down. And now I'm going to move over to my main computer, okay, which is this one here. I'm going to paste this in here. Let's paste it in here. Just give me 5 seconds. And then we're going to open it up, okay? Just got to let this load up. And this was my 1.5 million account. Now, you might find, Jesus, Darren, I'd be a lot miserable if I just lost my 1.5 account, right? 1.5 million. Now, what you've got to understand, okay, and I'm going to show you this because I think it's very, very important, is that these accounts won't last you forever. That's why it's important that when you get one account and it starts being a profit, you make sure you open another account. Equally, this is what you do with prop firms, okay? And I know I'm bringing out a new thing about prop firms where I'm going to be showing you how we're going to use special bots to pass this. And again, this is going to blow a lot of people away. So we're now analysing this back test now, okay? And what it's going to do, this is going to analyse my account. And hopefully it's going to give a little bit of an indication of my losses and my profits in buys and in sales, okay? Mostly when it comes to XAU USD, I will do this only in buy. I always come up with an error, that's typical. That's because the file's too large, all right? So that's not a problem because I can open it anyway, all right? So we'll have a look at that later. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go, I'll show you how you do that, okay? We click on here and we click on here. If we go to strategy tester, this little fellow here, I'm going to open this up. And we're going to load it in. I'll leave it for the time being because it's quite consuming, all right? But it just shows that at the moment there is a limit on this, which is a little bit of a crying shame because that would have been really good for me to show you that. But what I am also going to be showing you, okay, is we'll show you the bot, all right? Because these are mind-blowing stuff, quite literally. Right, this is one of the bots. Now, this is a inverted fair value gap, okay? So it's inverted inverse, okay? And you'll see that each one of these, okay, is a block. So it's very similar to FX Dreamer, right? The difference is FX Dreamer is MT4. This is MT5. Okay, and this is what's from Perfectus. Now you can pop over to Perfectus now and pick it up if you don't want me to purchase it through my link. That's absolutely fine. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But the beauty of it, right, is that you can build a bot, okay, and you can say, right, see this strategy. I'm going to test this strategy. I'm going to run it on say GPP AUD. I'm going to run it on a 1 hour time frame, and I'm going to run it on the 16th of June 2024 to the 16th of June 2026, which is our current day. Click the start button, and this little fella now is going to analyze the actual trading strategy that you built, okay, and also it's actually going to tell you whether or not it's profitable or not, and whether or not you could use this on a prop firm to pass it, okay? Now, I'll tell you a golden nugget here, right? most people that are going to be using, these are the proper pros that are actually using, like FTMO pros, all the big guys, Darwin X0, they will be using grid reference bots. Okay, and what they do is they have a very, very large stop loss and a very, very small take profit, because eventually if you choose a certain symbol, it's going to go the other way, right? So that's how they do it. And all they aim to get is a 1% profit every single month. That's all they aim to get. So if we click on here, you'll see that this one here is running. You see that these are all the other tests I've been running, and you'll see that as I'm tweaking, okay, this bot setup, we're moving from when it was 0 win rate, from 21% win rate to now 27.8% win rate. You see that this is just now finished, okay? And this currently showing you that this is 24.2% win rate. Now, if we click on the view, this way opens up a nice backtest report, shows us the profit. Well, there's no profit in this, okay? You can see that we're clearly in a high drawdown. And if we look across here, there's your drawdown, 0.9%, okay? And this is on a 10K account, right? And now it's actually showing you that when this worked in the London session, it wasn't very good, was it, right? And the New York session, that wasn't very good either. So you could actually optimize this bot now by taking out the London session, taking out the New York session, leaving off hours and the Asian breakout, okay, in place, and then see if this is going to make a difference. It's going to go through a Monte Carlo simulation, okay? You can see that it literally didn't make any profit on it whatsoever, okay? And you can see that when it comes to if it's going to work for an FTMO account or not, right? It's telling you that of 318 start days past phase 1, right? So it means that it hasn't really done what it needs to do to be able to pass it. Now, what it also does, it shows you if it is FTMO compatible to pass a actual prop firm, funded next compatible, funding pips and fivers. Now, fivers is pretty good, okay? And then it will also run down the time frames, the size, the pips, okay? Now there isn't much on this. I mean, there's a +2 here, right? So this means that this is a profit here, okay? And then if you look, you'll see that it shows you the magic number, shows the symbol, the time frame. It's told you when it's done its back test until when it's finished the back test, the initial deposit, which was 10,000, and of course the leverage, which is 1 to 100. Okay, now that's something you'd have to play around with, because if you're using our Darwin, it's 1 to 33. If you're using black ball is 1 to 50. If you have a bot that's running 1 to 33, you can leave that. If it's running on a 1 to 50, it's not going to make much difference, in all honesty. The only thing you have to be very careful with is your spread, and you can optimize the bot to actually compile a spread. So if you wanted to add a spread into here, right, you just go into the strategy, and you can see that we've got breakout strategy, momentum strategy, inside bar breakout, crypto breakout, SP500 breakout. And you can see that the management, this is where we can have candle high and low, trading stop loss, partial profits, break-even trial, and lock-in profit systems, okay? So this is a very good management system. I did say to you, this is going to blow you away, okay? The blocks, now the blocks you can use a 1 per tick, okay, a 1 per candle, a run in a session. Now these are really great because we already know that certain sessions aren't working, right? So we could grab this session across just like this, and we could create a trade rule, okay? And then all you do is you just push that into there, click that onto there, click on here, and we can say, okay, we want this to run at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. and we want to run this at, let's do 11:30. Okay, like that, right? Now we're just going to click on that. That's done, right? That's all we need to do. Super simple. And if you don't, there's certain months you don't want to run it. Okay, you could take the months off. So you could say, you know, January is a bit dodgy. December is great for gold because it all seems to go up. However, I normally would take May off and June. Actually, you want to take off May, take open June. So we want all on there. We want on here, on here, on here, on here, and on here. Okay, so this is what's been added in, which we're allowing it to do. And then if you click on the advanced options, we go to weekends. Well, we're not trading crypto, right? So we don't really need to have Saturday and Sunday on. So what we're doing now is we're just going to do this. You might think, oh, well, I like to be an adverse trader. I'm just going to do Tuesday, right? Wednesday and Thursday, right? Okay, so let's try that. And then once you've set this up, all you basically do is hit the strategy tester. We'll run it on the GBP AUD again. Okay, I'm going to hit the start of the test. And this will now go through another session with your new upgrade of what you've done to your bot. And see how easy it is, guys, right? I mean, these were designed, these particular actual blocks were designed where people that are in stock exchange and they're working and they think, whoa, market's just gone into a ball. Right, we need to create a breakout bot right now, and literally boom, 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 throw it on the canvas, hit the download button, and it will go straight into the trading system, which is as an MT5 MetaTrader bot, just the same as what we all know about and what I've taught you. Okay, and that's all we need to do, right? And then when you click on backtest, we'll see that it's probably spinning around. Here it is. So we're running 9. This may not make any difference whatsoever, but just me showing you just a tiny little bit of optimization of what we can do, okay, with a trade rule, because what we're doing is we're running per candle, we're running a session, so this means that it is not going to work until we're ready, and you can see that just changing this outcome is 24.5%. with a net profit of 0.4%. So our last one was 0.5%. Okay, so we're actually bringing down the profit, right? So what we could do is if we click on here, I'll show you something. I'll just do it. And duplicate, okay, and we're going to grab this and we're going to put this trade in there like that. Oh, hang on. Let's go back. That's got to go in here because I want that to go in there like that. So what we're doing now, right, is I've now optimized the same settings as this, okay? Because where I've copied this will be identical to the other side, all right? So now we run a strategy test now, exactly the same, and we're going to run it for a 1 hour time frame on a GBP AUD, okay? But we're running now with a run session on this side of the bot matrix and another side on this bot matrix, okay? And we're going to see exactly if this makes a difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our back test and we're going to scroll through. Now, this is all included, right, guys? The new test strategy and the thing which I was trying to show you, which is where we can execute a trade. Okay, I'll show you now. But if we go back to the analyzer, I can find it. So I think it's important for you to see it. And if we click to browse, I'm going to open one of my current ones, okay? So let's use this one here, okay? What it's going to do, oh, sorry, it's gone wrong again. Hang on, it might be because I've just used the same one. So let's just do that again. Right, let's let it settle down a minute. Right. Okay, so let's go to quick access. So let's use this one, okay? And what this is going to do is this is going to give you an indication of what it does, all right? Now, this is another bot that I've been playing with, all right? and why that's running, okay, why we're just loading that in, you'll see that this one currently made £21,272 profit. And I mean, look guys, this is what I'm saying about, right? This is 50k and it's up to 70k. Now this is the one that I actually designed for one of my computers. It also for one of, this is for my account, and you'll see that it shows you the points of when you're into a trade, the points when we're out of a trade. Okay, now if we click on download full analyst, okay, what it's going to do is it's going to download the full page, which is very, very similar to what you would get when you do a test in the MetaTrader 5, okay, when we use a strategy tester, and then we upload this. And this is very, very important, because if we look at the equity drawdown, it's 3.4%. This could possibly be one that we can use, okay, for a prop firm. It has a strike rate of 57.4%, a profit factor of 2.32, right? So this is really good. Everything here is very, very good. Now, if we scroll through, you'll see that this is a fractal breakout, okay, which is been played around by me, okay, and it's created a time-based account. So what I've done is I've put a lot of things inside this, all right, and you can see that everything is in the blue, and you can also see that here's my profit margins. So it shows you 1.7k in August, 5.9k in September. A total in 2025 was 11.8k. And it's hitting 8.4%, 4%, 6, 0.6%, 1%, 0.6%. So this is going to work really, really well on a Darwin, all right? And then you've got the fractal breakout, 3 Monte Carlo simulation. This is where you can see we've got a real nice increase. So it's very, very good. And you can see that we've got a profitable bot here, right? I mean, we're at 95%, 96%, 97, 98, 99, and 100, right? So we had a max drawdown of 14.21% on that particular one. Remember, this is Monte Carlo, so these are simulations. And if we look what it's actually doing, all right, for our FTMO account, if we want one, is it's telling us that we have a 69% chance of passing our phase 1 in FTMO, okay, in 61 days, okay. A phase 2 pass rate, okay, it's telling us that is 88% chance, and then FTM combined pass rate is 61%. This is end-to-end probability in getting funded. Remember, when you start to get into these funding systems, you're going to start making money. Now, I am literally been doing test, right? Where I've had bad internet connections, I've just been doing backtest, and just using either tick data or something like that, okay? And you can see that the FTMO two-step model, max draw loss is 10%, okay? 10%, 10%, 4%, 5% daily, 5% daily. Target is 10 to 5. Pass rate 69, 88, 61, right? Is the fivers 70% chance, right? So you can get a fivers account for about 30 quid, and you could chuck this bot on it, and there's a good chance that you're going to pass it, all right? But what we need to do then is find another bot which is going to build up your account very slowly, because you need one bot to pass, and then you need another bot to actually start to get you going. So the PAICG fractal breakout, okay, this is telling you the first 5 trades. It's giving us the size of the trades. It's giving us opening times, the take profit margin, close time. So you'll see that when it opened, it was on the 2025 on the 7th of the 7th at 6 a.m. And then this closed pretty much the next day, but in the evening, okay? So this bot seems to run, this one ran for 6 days, this one here run for 1 day, this one run here for 7th to the 7th of the 30th for another 6 days. So there does seem to be a pattern that it's doing either 1 day or 6 day pattern, okay? And that could be the way that it's set up. And then you've got the last 5 trades, telling you the profit margin in the last 5 trades, etc. The fractal backtest configuration. So this is just giving you the running down. It's telling you the spread fill, which was at 10, floating profit, which is at 1.8%. This means that the profit is still in when it hasn't been taken yet. You could, if you wanted to, put a profit management system into that, into this particular bot. Okay, so you can load this bot back up and you can say, right, I'm going to have it so it's going to take profit as it's going, and then, you know, you've already got your profit back, right? And that's probably something that you would do after you've passed your prop firm, okay, because then you've got a bot which is compiling, making money, but also is still floating just in case the market goes up or down. So, you know, if it's already put itself and it's covered itself by what it needs to make each month, then why stop it at the time, you know, because you've got your management system in place, which is going to protect you. So your trailing stop, which is at 150, floating profit 1.8, top SL, which basically is 0.3, and risk, okay, you're running on a risk of 1% on your account, okay. So it's very, very good, you know, it's crazy. And this is why I wanted to show you this, guys, okay. This is like the next level stuff. And it doesn't stop us from still posting up other bots. So if you don't want to get involved with this, and you think, whoa, Darren, this is far too much for me, I don't want to be doing this shit, don't worry about it, okay? I'll still carry on doing the other stuff, still going to be doing the done for you systems. I just wanted to really be transparent as I possibly could, so you know exactly, as always, you know, what I tend to do. Now I'm going to show you my Darwin X account, because it's important that when your Darwin starts to profit, you've got to understand it could have a shelf life, okay? Now, unfortunately, the only reason why mine really died, okay, was the fact that at the time, my computer was turned off because I wasn't allowed to have it on, and I had really, really bad internet connection. Luckily, though, the done for you people was controlled by someone else, okay? Well, not someone else, I shouldn't say that. It was still controlled by me, but I was using a Ryoko device. I don't know if you know what that is, and it's basically I pay £10 or £30 a month, and it's completely separate. So I made sure that you were completely separate from. That's why I could check into the VPSs and make sure the VPSs were running correctly. Even though my computer failed, it didn't mean yours did. And I just thought about that, because when I brought the last video out, I had a member say, I don't want to do any more. And I thought, what is that? And then I thought, it's probably because they think that particular situation. So I thought I'd just let you know about that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into this now. And the reason why I'm doing this, you can look at this. If you've got a Darwin yourself, you just got to type in HMVC. Okay. And this will pretty much give you the same information that we're going to look at now. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, as I said to you before, I'm very transparent in my trading. Okay, I've made lots and lots of money with trading. Okay, and I want to show you that I pretty much made around about £7,000 on this account. Okay, I've still got an asset. You can see that my drawdown is 10.37. My max drawdown is 16.61%. It's actually a little bit more than that. And you can see that we started off, we did exceedingly well. Okay, right the way up to here. Okay, and bang, we fell down. Okay, and we fell on our asses basically. Okay, but what I want to show you is, if we go into here, if I go into my withdrawals, I want to show you that the system still works, because all this has cost me is £55 a month, right, to have a 1.5 mil account. You can see that this is total earned, which is 6,866. This is my total withdrawn. Okay, so this is what I've actually withdrawn out of account one. All right, bear in mind I've got several accounts, so you know this is showing you how profitable, how it works, etc. And if we click on locations, you'll see that I've still got an estimated performance fee coming in at £139.84. All right, even though that my account is obviously fell quite heavily. All right, now unfortunately the investors, they're not looking too good until I can get back up to 1.5 mil. And you can see that the investors, the money I was making for the investors was £1,350.85. You know, it was quite a healthy account. There was one person who was on about £30,000 using, because these were actual real investors. And sadly, you know, because of no fault to my own really, where we moved and took it, and we got gazumped. Okay, so then we had 3 months where I couldn't switch the computer on, so I had to just hope to God this is going to be working all right. And then I just started doing stuff with the Telegram and my laptop, etc., to check to make sure that everyone's done a few programs were all okay. And you can see that the performance fees, okay, which I've made here is 6,866. you can see that these are what I've drawn out, the investor breakdown, etc. And we go to my Darwin. It's going to give you a little bit of a report. Now, the most I've ever been in gold is 24th. Okay, I've been second in silver, and you can see that I'm just hovering around just the bottom mark. Okay, at 664, 667, and that's simply because I've got to build my account up, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I mean, you know, it jumped from 1.5 million, or didn't jump, it fell to $30,000. And that's a hell of a thing. At least it didn't go to zero, it would have lost it. But the only risk was $55 a month. Okay. And that's the reason why I tell people to do this, because it's the safest way. Can you imagine if this was your own money, right? You just lost 1.5 mil. I mean, I know friends that are actually on the markets and they do that. I won't do that. I just can't see myself doing that. I'd rather use other people's money, okay, or other simulated accounts. And this is why we're going to get heavily into the prop firms. I'm going to show you some bots that are actually going to pass that. And incidentally also, okay, I know this is a long video, but I haven't been able to have a video for a while, so I must make the most of it, is don't forget, guys, that people are inside the Darren's Trading Academy. I am going to be creating unique bots for you, right? So you just have to need to tell me what sort of management you want, what you want it to trade on, what session do you want it to trade on, okay? And I will create the bot for you. Every single bot that each member is going to get is going to be totally independent, okay, to themselves, right? So this is the beauty of it. Now, it might not necessarily be as profitable, okay, but it is your bot, right? So then if you decided to join into Fracturous, okay, which is up to you, it's entirely up to you what you want to do, if you want to do that or not, and you can play around with the settings, you'll also be able to get an idea of the win rate, etc., what profit you can have a bot making. If you can see that this one, if we can see there's one here that I was playing around with, which is this one here, at 0.8%. Okay, so we want to try and get a 1% margin. We can clearly do that with this particular setup. And this one, okay, was one of the first where I was messing around with it. And you'll see that if we scroll all the way up, it will tell you that this is USD JPY. These seem to be the ones that work very, very well with these particular bots. And you can see that this is the actual setup of the bot. Okay, and you can see that you can literally play around with this. You can adjust it, do what you like. It's an absolutely incredible bit of kit. Okay, and all I've got to be doing is I will be creating an actual almost like a spreadsheet. It will be a Google Doc probably, and then you'll open it up, fill out the bits that you're interested in and what you want, and then we'll also do it so you can configure it as well. So you'll be able to configure your very own bot inside the strategy tester. So you'll be able to test it if you want to run it out 1 hour, if you want to run it 2 hours, if you want to run it 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. You'll be able to do all these great things. Okay, so I think that's what I really wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, thank you for still staying with inside the Darren's Trading Academy. Remember, you've got a lifetime membership, and the beauty of this, guys, is that anything that I bring out, which you are benefiting now big time, right? Because I'm sadly going to have to put the prices up on Darren's Trading Academy, because you can see what I'm adding to the plate. You can see the dedication and time of what I've been doing. So, you know, it's only a matter of time, really, before the prices are going to have to go up. And because you're obviously already in there, you don't even have to worry about paying for anything. You'll just get this extra. This will just be added into the membership probably within inside the next month. Now I've got the actual camera sorted out, because I will be able to actually sort that out now, which is great. So again, trading management, just in case you're interested to see how quick it is for you to add an actual management, literally, okay, you can have a modified stop loss once per trade, closed trades, okay. You literally, this thing can do absolutely everything, okay. There's nothing it cannot do. So for argument's sake, if you wanted a profit margin tool, go to templates, lock in profit, right? All we do is we open this up like so. We click apply template, and lo and behold, you now have this, which is completely connected to this. And then we move over, okay, hit the strategy tester, start the back test. because this has a locked in. It normally works on a percentage. So if you leave it generic, okay, in default, then what this will do is this will take profits, but the actual profit loss factor, if we look here, it works in the, it's a percentage of balance and the amount is 2, okay? And if we look at the selective trades, you'll see that it's an open trade. So when this opens trade, this will activate, okay? And then it will work out. You can see that once per trade hasn't been set up, so we don't need to worry about that, okay? And then lock in profit, it's going to lock in profit on the open price. And you can see that it works percentage of stop loss, and the amount is minus 100. So what this means is that, say you wanted to increase the stop, all right, or increase more, then you just put minus 300 or minus 500. And this is what I said to you about extending your stop losses, which works really, really well with trying to create things. And we do this in a lot of grids. And you see it's running on fixed pips of 100, okay? And there's so much more you can do on it, guys. Honestly, it's just absolutely crazy. So we're just going to see if that strategy tester has made any difference, just me putting that in. So we're going to click on here. We're going to scroll, and we're going to see that this is running now. So this is doing a test inside what we've actually tested here, okay? And you can play around with this canvas, right? You can add whatever you like inside this, right? I know there's a couple of guys that are inside Darren's Trading Academy in the Done For You program about running the Black Wolf, and there's loads of other bots. We can create them now, guys, okay? Because we just got to work out what the trading rule is on those bots and then include them inside here. And we could have 3 or 4 different bots running inside here, where if the market goes sideways, right, we're going to have the bot to activate when the bot goes sideways, right? And we can do that by doing a 20 EMA, 50 EMA, or even a 200 EMA, checking for ball, etc. You can also put every single indicator that you can think of mankind, okay, into this system as well. So I'm just going to leave it here. So we're going to see when this is finished, okay, and just to see if we've increased the profit or not. So we know that the win rate profit was 24.5%. We already played with the net value or the net profit, which was a 0.4%. So now where we're obviously trying to harvest profit while we're in profit, okay, we're going to see if this is going to make a bit of a difference inside this particular bot using this actual management, okay, which is this one here. And it says once the flowing profit threshold is reached, stop loss is moved once as a fraction of the original stop loss. Negative values in the modified stop loss and take profit block move the stop loss into profitable territory. Okay, so we just got to wait and see if this finishes in time. It may do, it may not. I mean, when you start adding complications into the system, it just takes that little bit longer for it to go through its process. And we'll be able to view this in a minute, and we'll see if it's made any difference. Who knows, right? This could be the one where we might be getting 90% win rate just by putting a management system, which is super easy. And you can see I haven't even adjusted it, right? I'm just working by the percentage of 1%, which is inside the actual current balance of your account. You know, so it is crazy stuff, guys. You know, this is next level stuff. I can't wait to talk to you about this, right? And I'm going to be building another method, product, if you like, project inside Darren's Trading Academy, which is going to have access to generic bots like this, okay? So if you are sort of like getting into Perfectus and you pay, I don't know, so it's only like a couple of £100 a year, believe it or not. It is crazy. And this gives you a strategy tester, okay? Test the actual bots that we're playing around with. We can copy and share any bot. So it means that I could create a bot. I can send it to you. You could create a bot. You can send it to me. We can have a real good portfolio system going where we can work together, build bots which are generally going to help in our Darwin's, in our personal accounts, and also they're going to work inside our actual prop accounts as well. So this is finished. Okay, you can see that the profit is 0.4%. It's pretty much the same as the other one, but we're going to open it up anyway and just have a little look at this. And you can see that our strike rate is 24.5%. You'll see that the first thing you want to be checking for is the equity drawdown, which is 0.9%. Okay, and you can see that before we had loads of red, right? And you can see that equally, right? We could say, right, we don't want this to trade. We don't want this to trade between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. right? And then we obviously don't want it to trade on a Tuesday or a Wednesday either, because Thursday seems to be our most profitable time. March seems to work really well, okay, and December seems to work really well. So we can set this bot up just to run in December and March on a Thursday between 12 midnight, right, all the way through to 9 a.m., 8 a.m., say, let's conservatively go for around about that sort of time, right? So it just gives you a little bit of an idea. You can see that it worked well on 2024. It didn't seem to work very well when we started to move into 2026. That could all change though when we start playing around with these parameters. We also know it works best on the Asian breakout. So I will turn it off from London, New York, get rid of that. And you can see that it works in long only. So you can say, okay, well, why don't we set this up as short and reverse this, okay? So what we do is where we've got a buy trade, which is this little fella here, buy pending order, we could create a sell pending order and reverse everything inside here and just literally copy this and just put it to the side and then add it into our system as a sell trade. And then what you've got there is you've got a hedging system. You've got a system now that's actually hedging. So, you know, it's just crazy. I told you, this is crazy stuff. Next level stuff, guys. Okay, and then we can have a look at when this was profitable, 2025. Monte Carlo, it does a test, etc. You can see that, I mean, we know this bot needs a lot of work anyway, right? But I'm just giving you a little bit of a rundown. And then it's showing you that it's working on a 10K account. You can see the times, etc. GPP, AUD. So, you know, that was it. I just want to show you that, okay? And then you've got an idea now, an indication of what's coming towards Darren's Trading Academy. I'm going to post this up inside the Telegram group because I'm super excited, all right? And this is going to whet people's appetite big time. They're going to be thinking, wow, big time, right? This is good stuff. Finally, we've got a bot which could be optimized to anything we want, right? As opposed to relying on other people's bots to do it for you, okay? And I bought lots of bots, trust me, right? But this by far is probably one of the best things that I've ever done, because in the pro version it gives you variables where you create your own variables and inputs, and we can pretty much do anything we like, right? Projects, you can have this thing running. There is talks that this is going to be connected to Claude, and what that's basically going to do is you're going to do something like this. You'll push another button that's going to be up here, okay, and Claude is going to go off the artificial intelligence and it's going to enhance the bot by making those adjustments for you, and then you just hit the test strategy button. How easy is that going to be, people? That is just going to be super crazy. Trust me, that price is going to go up. Once Claude is added to this price will go up, right? A couple of £100. You can pay, I think it's £24 a month. So if you want to trial it, see how you get on, you know, and you get a couple of bots. I'll just show you my particular library. This is my library. Okay, these are all my bots, okay, which I'm playing around with. We've got lots and lots of bots here. And you can see that these are all examples, and you know, there's some crazy bots here, right? I showed you one which is literally ready for FTMO, okay? So, you know, I may even get an account and test that, leave that running and see how we get on with that, right? And equally, there is another account which I've got running already. I think I've got a Fixify account which is running already, 2,500, which is an actual funded account. So you pay $19 to get $2,500, okay, and that's at 2,530. And I've stopped trading for a couple of days, and then I've been manually building that up because I want to show you that you can manually trade as well, right? And make sure that you've got a proper stop loss, make sure that you've got take profit. Make sure you don't exceed the max of what you're allowed to trade. Make sure that you do not exceed the max of the loss that you're allowed in the daily. A good base to remember that is if it's £2,500 account, take the zero off. It leaves you with 2,250. That is your max of what you're not allowed to overcome, right? So you want to be half in that 50%, £125. That is your max that you want to have any loss on, full stop, for the whole of the account. Until you get it up, say, to £3,000, then you've got a little bit to play with. But still remember that there's stipulations inside prop firms where they can hammer you for it. So, you could lose your account. So just work on the £125 profit margin and loss margin on a £2,500 account, and you'll be fine. Okay, and you want to be earning that monthly. Okay, and then if you get one account and that's working, guess what? If you get 10 accounts, then you've got 10 accounts working. You've got £1,000 coming in every single month. Okay, right. I think that is the end of this little chat. So you can see I've been super excited about this. You can see that I'm showing you my HVCZ. Okay, anyone that's got a Darwin account, all you need to do is, if you go click on here, and you can add in your actual, you can add your information in, okay, and you can test it and check it. It gives you the ability. There we go, Darwin IA. Okay, click on here, and then all you basically do is you add in, if you want to click on here, so you just put HNVC. It's going to do a search, and it will come up with mine. Okay, HVCZ. I can't spell HVCZ, and you can see that this is my account here. You can see it's showing its gold. So if I click on this, it's going to give you my return allocation. It's going to give me lots and lots of information here. How much I was making real great profit with this. Real shame, but we're going to boost this up. I'm going to keep paying the £55 a month for this account, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how we're going to bring out a £30,000 account back to 1.5 mil. Don't know how long it's going to take, but we're going to be doing it together. So, if you want to learn something which is going to show you how you can boost up accounts in a manual trading situation, this is going to be what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to do a case study to do this. All right. So I just showed you that. Thanks, guys. All the very best, and look out for my new videos that are going to be coming out. All the best. Bye for now.